Hi cuties! Wanna sit on my balcony? Anyways, tight! It was cool. Hi friendlies, my name is Bree. I wanted to film a very fun video today. I wanted to act like a hippie all day and be like, yo, hippie Smokesesh, I'm a hippie. But what's freaking funny about all of this is I had this idea. I was like, I'm gonna have a hippie Smokesesh and I'm just gonna walk somewhere. I'm gonna walk to a park and just find a really cool spot to smoke. It's gonna be dope. I'm gonna walk around barefoot because I'm a hippie, of course, and I've actually been walking around barefoot. I've been walking around my apartment complex, taking my puppy on walks, completely barefoot. And at first I was scared. I was like, people are gonna look at me. They're gonna think I'm weird. And then I was like, you know what? If I ever want to be a real hippie one day, I ain't gotta give a shit about what people are thinking. And so I started walking around my apartment complex barefoot. And sorry if my foot's dirty, actually, but do you see this? Do you see that? That is a giant callus or blister or what the fuck ever I got on my feet from walking around barefoot, and it hurts so bad. And it's one of those things where you're like, oh, it's okay, I'll just keep pushing. I know it's because my feet aren't tough enough and they're just toughening up, but I kept telling myself it's going to be okay. You just have to keep toughening it up. You have to keep walking. They'll go away, and then you'll be so tough. But I'm so dumb. I should have given it time to heal. I kept walking. I kept walking around barefoot and kept getting bigger. And one day I woke up and I couldn't even stand on them. It hurts so bad. I didn't realize now it's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better, I think. I kind of freaked myself. I'm kind of really upset about it. I can't stand on hard tile for too long. It hurts. I can go outside and stand on the grass. I can come inside and stand on some carpet. It's not that bad anywhere else. I have to walk around on my tippy toes. I couldn't stand in the shower. I had to stand on my tippy toes in the shower. What? You guys know I'll be okay. I like to complain about things sometimes, but that's only because I know I'll be perfectly fine. So, like I said, I wanted to walk somewhere. I wanted to find a really cool spot to smoke. But I already have a cool spot to smoke. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but this is my balcony. I like these rugs. I want to get different colored rugs and just put them everywhere. This is Smoochie's This is Smoochie's outside water. That's what I call it. He loves it. Hi, here we are. Oh, I brought 2 lighters? I guess I'm always ready. Here we have, oh, I didn't bring the wrapper. I thought a hippie would really like some hemp wraps compared to tobacco wraps, but what do I know? So this is juicy hemp wraps, mango papaya twist. I wanted to talk about my experience on drugs. Yeah, tear that rug up. You've already torn it up anyways. Yeah, that's how you like it, huh? Don't lie. He's so cute, but he's a fucking liar. Did you see him cut that shit out real quick when the camera looked at him? There you go. There he goes again. I'm gonna start this off with a disclaimer right away. I don't think I know anything about drugs. I'm telling you. Don't think I know anything about drugs. I don't think I know anything about drugs. I will admit I do. I don't. I definitely don't. This doesn't mean that you should go out and do some drugs. These are my personal experiences. These are my do's and don'ts. A lot of things you should be careful about, actually, and just what I've experienced. So yes, here I am being bold, telling the truth. I have tried some drugs. I don't want to lie. I want you to be careful with what you do, and that's part of the reason why I'm here talking about it. The first drug I tried was mushrooms. It was in my bedroom. First off, there's some kind of respect you have to have for drugs or like mushrooms that obviously I do not have yet, or I do not understand. I went into mushrooms thinking I was the toughest person ever. Someone had given me a bag to try on my own. I went out, I got Jack in the Box. This person didn't know when I was gonna do it. I had it for a while, and then one day I woke up and I went out and got some Jack in the Box, which I later found out was a huge mistake. I took it home. I ate them at the same time because I heard that you could eat them with food. I didn't know that eating fast food or eating greasy food would be a bad idea. Supposedly a lot of people on mushrooms crave fruit or really healthy foods, and the thought of like eating animals or eating fast food will make them feel extremely gross, extremely nasty. I wish I had known this, but like I said, I went into this all wrong. I was in the wrong headspace. I was telling myself I was going to be okay, which is something you should do, but I thought I was so tough. I thought I could handle anything. I told myself I smoke hella weed every day. I know exactly what I'm doing. I did not know exactly what I was doing. I take my Jack in the Box home. I'm eating it the same time I'm eating my mushrooms. I'm taking them together. This was a terrible idea. And then I'm laying in my bed, probably watching TV. I have no idea. And my legs start to feel funny. They start to feel tingly. And then I'm like, holy shit, it's coming on, you know? So at first my legs were feeling funny and tingly. And this is really embarrassing to admit now. But before I filmed this video, I was like thinking back to all the memories, you know, so I could tell the stories. And I definitely remember I tried to get off, dude. When it first started coming on, my legs, like I said, my legs were feeling weird. And I'm gonna be really personal. Like for me, when I am getting off, I like that feeling in my legs. And I was feeling that tingly just sensation in my legs that has felt familiar, that I liked, and I wanted to get off. And I grabbed my vibrator and I tried to get off, but I couldn't. And it's so embarrassing to admit, but so I definitely tried to get off. I couldn't. I get frustrated. I lay back, I'm just laying there and I'm feeling so weird. I'm feeling uncomfortable. I can't explain it, but I'm starting to feel not good. And I start throwing up. I definitely start throwing up and I'm feeling so sick. I ended up calling the guy who had given me the shrooms. I call him and I'm like, I think I said I took something. And he asked, like, did you consume something? And I say, yeah. And he's like, oh no, Bree, like, hold on a second. And he hangs up. And I'm just laying there like, this is all my fault. I'm so dumb. I shouldn't have, like I said, I was in the right headspace of I'm going to be okay. But I wasn't in the right headspace of respect, of fucking, like, this shit could go wrong real quick, real easily, and you need to realize that. I thought I was so tough, and I thought I knew what I was doing, and then I'm so upset at myself because I start to feel so sick, and I'm throwing up, and this dude actually calls me back. He calls me back, and he's like, I got off work, and I'm coming to see you right now. I cannot tell you the feeling of relief I felt. Have I ever felt more relief in my life? Probably. In other situations, but that moment will be a moment I will remember forever. This motherfucker is like, I'm coming over right now. So he does. He comes over, and I can not explain the feeling of how I felt to you. My legs started to feel almost like they were floating, like I couldn't move them, like they weren't really mine. It was almost like they weren't attached to my body. They were just like floating noodly things, but like they weren't. They were my legs. I didn't think they were noodles. I knew they were my legs. What I remember hating about it so much was just feeling like I had no control. I didn't have control over my body. Where it was and what it was doing and how it was feeling, I felt like I couldn't control, and that was really scary. I remember feeling so dizzy. All I could do was lay there and stay as still as possible because any bit of it was just spinning. I guess that's how I could explain it, is the world was literally spinning and I had no control over it, and it was just moving so fast, and I had to like lay so still because it was too much. I had to keep my eyes closed. Like when the dizziness and the intenseness started to come on. Oh, there's also a really intense feeling in your stomach. A really intense feeling in your stomach. When that all started to come on, I had to keep my eyes closed because if I opened my eyes, the world was spinning. It was way too much. I remember looking into my phone for a short period of time and like thinking I wanted to like vlog it or something. I just wanted to record myself. I remember I was like, what the fuck? And the first thought that came to mind was I want to record myself. And I remember I looked so weird in the video. And I guess looking at yourself in a mirror when you're tripping is like totally a thing. But I remember looking at myself in the video for a few minutes, and it was almost like looking at yourself like in 3D, or there were like outlines of me in blue and red, like the 3D colors, and like if you put them together it would be like a 3D person. But I really only looked at my phone for a few minutes until I had to lay down. And I remember looking at my TV or something. I remember feeling like I'm seeing things kind of like would be normal on a trip. But then I got so dizzy, I had to close my eyes. And I was laying in bed and my eyes were closed. And the whole trip, or the whole time, I was like, go away. The whole time I was like experiencing this drug or this experience, I feel like I really didn't get to. I didn't really get to see much or experience much because the whole time I had my eyes closed, lying there paralyzed. And I'm kind of upset, but it is what it is. The second time, first let's start off with the things I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have done it with the exact same guy. I invited him over again. I shouldn't have done it in the exact same room. I was living in a bedroom. I was renting in a house. That was a bad idea. I should have done it outside. I thought I was comfortable there because that was my space, but I should have done it somewhere I was actually really comfortable at. I invite this guy over to trip, or to do, ow, I bit my tongue, to do shrooms with me. I don't remember much of it. There's just one story. I remember it happened again. I started feeling not the best. I start feeling, the first time I said I took it with Jack in the Box, like I literally just ate them. And I remember everyone I tell that to is so surprised because they're like, they're so nasty. I literally just, by themselves, I just chomped them up. But I did what I had to do. Is that not enough respect for you, mushrooms? The second time we made a tea. So we drink this tea, we're laying in my room, and I didn't have a bed. I had a futon. We're laying on my futon. I start to feel very dizzy. I start to throw up. And I'm incredibly embarrassed. I didn't want him to look at me. I was so embarrassed. I felt like I looked so nasty. I didn't want this motherfucker to look at me. And he was like trying to touch me, trying to comfort me. And I was like, please don't touch me. Please do not look at me. He was trying to hold my hair. And I was like, don't look at me. Please don't look at me. I don't want you to look at me. I was feeling so insecure. I was like, holy shit, don't watch me fucking throw up right now. Another thing about drugs is it's not really like alcohol. You can't just throw it up and feel better. I was kind of forcing myself to throw up, and then I realized I'm never going to feel better. Like, this is just how it is. This dude gets up and lays on my floor
And like I said, I was just in a bedroom in a house. I had just moved to Colorado and I just started trying mushrooms. I just moved to Colorado and there was a big Home Depot box in the middle of my room. He lies behind the box and his head is behind the box. I can't see him. And I'm throwing up, dude. I'm just throwing up. And that was kind of when I was forcing myself to throw up because he wasn't looking. But then I realized I think I've thrown up everything I can, but the feeling of wanting to throw up, the feeling of this, there's something in my body I can't get out, was so overwhelming. But I just had to accept the fact that I was done throwing up and there was nothing else I could throw up. I just had to live out my experience. And I'm just laying there. I finished my puking spell and I hear his little voice. He's like, can I come lay in bed now? Mind you, this motherfucker was tripping too. He's like, can I come lay in bed now? Or on the fucking futon. And I feel so bad, dude. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, of course you can. Dude, I didn't tell you to go lay on the floor and hide behind a box. Like, you could have laid in bed next to me and just turned away from me. I didn't want you to look at me. I didn't tell you to go lay on the floor and hide behind a box. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, dude, like, you're fucking tripping, and I'm having a bad experience. And it was very sweet of you to give me my space because that was exactly what I needed. But I was like, dude, you could have just stayed on the bed. Like, you didn't have to go lay on the floor. And he joked about it, and he was like, oh, I was just staring at the box. It was fun, and, like, it was really sweet of him. But I, to this day, feel so bad about it still, but it was fucking funny, dude. It's fucking funny. Like, you could have laid next to me and, like, rubbed my back or something. I just don't want you staring at my face when I'm throwing up. I don't know, dude. Drugs are fucking... They're a weird thing. They're a dangerous thing. They're exciting. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Just be careful. That's all I have to say. Oh, hi. Come here. Smoochy, smoochy. Smooch, say bye.